look at you. Ew. This is better? For one night of Nookie? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are here with the actual finale of the Umbrella Academy. I hate that I'm saying it, but as I've said multiple times, I feel like it's time, and yet I could definitely do with more. But anyhow, we are on episode 6, which is called End of the Beginning. Last episode, we kind of saw everything get to where we're pointing to where we're gonna have to stop this whole reaction between Ben and Jen. With Five and Lila, they've been gone for 6 years in their timeline. And during that time, they started a romantic relationship. Mixed feelings about that one, but it happened. But now that Five was able to find a cipher that another version of himself left, they are going back, and we'll have to see exactly where they jump, because I think in their original timeline now they've only been gone for maybe a day. But anyways, we see that the person who is pretending to be Sai is actually the mother, aka Reggie's wife. What is she up to? Why is she trying to push this cleanse to happen? We're not sure. And then we got Klaus out of the ground, which is great. So I guess he's gonna have to join the party now. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Reggie and Victor are on their way to, or they're the closest ones to Ben and Jen, who are in a town now where all the keepers know where they are. So everyone's going to be converging on this little town in this hotel, it sounds like, and this might be where we have our big showdown. So as much as I hate it, I am ready to jump into it. Hate it in the sense of I hate that it's going to be the last one, but I am ready to jump in and see how we wrap up this wonderful series. So let's do that. But just before I do, if you would like to be notified of when I drop episodes of other shows I'm reacting to, this is it for Umbrella Academy, but I do react to a lot of other great stuff. So please do continue on the journey with me. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be in the know. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the last episode right now. Muse is a great choice. Muse is a great choice. If we have to choose something, that's one thing this show has absolutely never, ever missed on, is its soundtrack. Damn, this cult is huge. Well, Victor, you're gonna have to go supernova on this one. I don't know what to tell you. Be a fun day to be an extra.
The non-believers will try to break through our lines and stop the cleanse. We cannot let that happen.
I was thinking, like, how did they get so many people into this cult? But I can see a lot of malcontents who hate their lives here would probably think the idea that they might be living in another life that's glorious very tempting.
Are you with us?
Hey, alien. Careful before that body starts to slide again. Oh, Ben, you look horrible.
Man, we gave him hell back there, didn't we?
Yeah. It's like the good old days.
Good thing that's a suit that he's pulled on, because this looks like they filmed in like early spring, which would be freezing in Toronto. Imagine walking around there with no pants.
When I was playing Secret Agent, who sniffed out a global conspiracy?
And Five couldn't even do that. He's been working there for years.
You were very observant, Luther. You always have been.
Poppy's home! Come here, get in here.
Please keep the jacket closed.
Hi.
Okay. Nope, just
guys
show
been
the
good,
kids yourself in a G-string.
Could I please
What would
borrow
fit
some
you?
clothes?
Of course.
What would fit you?
मैंने अपनी पैंट विच ए बॉ मारती बंदर लता नहीं चाहिए दिया
मैं तेरी गाड़ ते लत मारनी है जा
Wow! Not stinky monkey legs. Wow! Somehow that's offensive and monkeyist, if that's a thing. Primatist.
Go ahead and get him. But first, you need permission from every man and woman here.
I could just vaporize them too.
Perfect little pearl, right? Not to be questioned because you think you know best. Such a man's perspective.
A little personal, right? A little personal. So she's pissed with Reggie. Okay.
We're not giving him up.
And you never listen.
Jesus.
I've got your attention
Reggie!
now.
Clock in! Oh, well, we've already lost Ben.
And what is this god-awful song you keep whistling, Jean?
Because that's
You
what
don't
Sai
even
was
like
whistling.
that song.
You're upsetting our followers.
I taught you the truth.
Jesus, marriage is just falling apart left, right, and center in this show.
Trying to finish his
Eyes to your
dissertation.
head. That's a divorce. That form, though. Y'all don't have questions in this cult yet? No one's got a question? Okay, keep following.
Killed her.
Yeah.
It's bigger than all of us.
She started the movement.
He's ending it.
Anybody else's feet feeling chilly?
The people in the back, the black people, this is your cue to just back up, moonwalk on out of there. Yeah. Welcome home, cheater.
What are you scared of?
That they won't love me like they did before.
Honey, it's been a day here. It's been a day.
Promise.
Yeah. Promise.
Y'all gonna have to stop looking at each other like that, though.
I missed you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get in there with the guilt.
I mean, why
Get
wouldn't
in
I?
there.
Is anyone hungry? My God, I could eat a horse.
Hey, family.
Long story.
Hello. Oh,
She's like, okay, we're hugging now. Okay, sure. I knew he'd have the hardest time adjusting to this. I mean, Lila will too, for a while. I don't know. Like I said last episode, I don't know if they should say anything. It's one of those things where if they take it to the grave, I understand. But I just feel like things are never going to be the same because they're both different.
Jean,
With a G?
with a J. Husband gutted her like a trout.
What? Some people just aren't cut out for marriage.
So saith the black okay.
You have 15 minutes, but I fail to see how you intend to breach that mob.
I need to borrow a tire iron and a Sharpie.
Huh? Oh yeah, I guess you just look like you're one of them. If only you could fly. Actually, you should be able to use your powers to like project yourself up, right?
Like I said, nobody goes inside, asshole!
That felt good, didn't it? The world thanks you. Now move quickly. That made a lot of noise.
Victor? What are you doing here?
You look great. Moisturizing?
What's happening to me?
Have you looked in a mirror, bro? You're not doing well. All that because you got laid for the first time? Like, come on. Sorry, I keep forgetting. This Ben probably wasn't a virgin. She's so gonna blurt out the truth. One of them is. They have to.
Yeah, so we have to get to Ben and Jennifer before they do and stop the cleanse.
Right, but we have to find them first.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
be
you're gonna
anywhere.
have to fess up, sweetie. You're acting like your husband's the one being inappropriate.
Grandpa's not had his nap.
Can we just not do this right now?
No, you know what? Let's do it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, don't talk to my wife like that, man. Not around here. Not during Christmas.
You gonna do something about it, fuckface?
Oh, 5.
You hate bracelets.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. I gave you one for Valentine's Day. You traded it for a Dyson vacuum.
She just didn't like them from you.
Did you give her this bracelet?
Well, let's get it out. Let's just get it out.
Is there something going on between you two?
Diego.
Holy shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's low.
I didn't see that one coming.
All this time, I knew you were cheating on me with.
Wow, everyone knows.
Not when you thought that I was.
Should we go? We should go.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're sticking around. May as well. The full story.
Did you SKREW my wife?
Wow. Yep, sure.
Is spelled S-C.
Thank you.
W.
Thank you. Exactly.
It's not a regular subway. It's a waypoint between alternate timelines of the same moment in time.
Yeah, you think I'm gonna buy that bullshit?
You really don't believe that?
We were searching for 7 years, Diego.
Well, it's not funny anymore.
But I got tired. Then I had to stop running.
So I decided to screw your brother.
Do you love him?
Is it love or is it trauma bonding? They're
you don't come out with me,
They're gonna bomb this place into oblivion.
that Dad and his tactical team will come in and they will kill you.
And Jennifer. And look at you! Ew! This is better? For one night of Nookie? As the Umbrella Academy, you'd think they'd invest in some choppers or something, you know? Hey, everybody! No need to get violent.
You of all people know we're gonna end up in the subway.
They do not think about the past.
If you're going to do something, now would be the time.
Everybody join hands, let's go!
I need you.
Seriously?
Exactly. It's not cute.
What is that?
That's Ben.
Is that Jennifer?
Get away from him!
Exactly, they're like, you can have him. Actually,
I don't want to hurt you.
This is Sniper Team 1.
take the shot.
I got eyes
Sorry,
on the
Ben,
target.
I love you. But there's babies involved. Oh, is this what it is? Oh, maybe the cleanse is a good thing. Maybe the cleanse is a good thing.
Take the shot.
Five gonna have to rewind time again.
Tango down.
Maybe we should have done a headshot. Sorry, I hate saying that 'cause I love Ben. Ew. Yuck.
The cleanse. It's here. Don't be afraid.
You're all gonna die. No. No, nope. It's not Ben anymore. It's that.
Oh, shit.
Allison, wait!
You only took Lila 5, you bitch.
That's right, come on, go get these legs and eggs, baby!
Legs and eggs. Why can you do that? I don't think that's working.
Okay, that didn't work.
No, sure didn't. Didn't work. Made it angrier. Kind of deserved.
What are you waiting for?
It's Ben.
Is he? Okay. Did you get anything? You just punched it in its ass?
Little help! My hand is stuck in his ass!
Let's do this.
Somehow I knew. Meanwhile, these idiots.
Will this thing ever stop growing?
No, its whole job is to literally kill everything.
I wanna fucking kill him.
It's over 5.
She means that.
Shit.
Childish. 63, still acts like a teenager. So what are you gonna do now? Go back to a time before and stop yourself from ever finding the book? Don't be such a child, 5. I know this sucks, but you knew what you were doing when you started it with her. So I can't believe he just tapped out. That is, but I mean, I get it though. He's probably like another end of the world scenario. I'd rather not do it. He's been through the most.
Time to evacuate, sir.
On the contrary, it's time to face the inevitable.
It's true. Nowhere you're gonna be able to run.
You pathetic, self-deluded zealot. Do you have any idea what you've done?
Yep, and they don't care. And you thought you knew her, didn't you?
Abigail.
Wasn't it enough to see our world destroyed? Why were you lucid on this one?
Because I was so lonely without you.
Okay, so my theory was right. He let it out when he came to Earth.
Your actions had consequences far greater than anything you could
But
imagine.
again, I don't understand how this... Why does all of Earth have to pay?
It was my duty to set it right.
By killing everyone?
I was wrong, and you made it right. Well done, my love.
Damn, it's that easy, huh? Just screw humanity. All right. Bye. I want to know what it was that Victor saw when he touched Ben, because I feel like maybe the cleanse, when it's done, is not going to be so bad. Possibly. Maybe it's not what we thought it was. You'll be all right, 5. I know you're 63, but technically you've got a long life left to live, so you'll find someone else who isn't married with a family, ideally. You should just be thankful that Diego's probably the one sibling that would forgive you for this. Other 5! Wait, you start farting?
Hey, you, over here.
Oh my God, it's an army of 5s? You mean they all end up here? Man, you're predictable as hell, bro.
Alternate versions of the same moment in time? That is correct. You'd be surprised how long it took some of the 5s to figure that out.
Took him 7 years.
Broken timeline, man. There's only supposed to be one. Look around, 5. Does this seem right to you?
An army of me? Ew, no.
Okay, so what shattered the original timeline? Not what?
Your existence.
By we, he means the family.
No,
my siblings?
5. Just
The
you.
morons, yeah.
The time travelers, no?
All the different ways we made our universe go kaboom. Gold star for consistency, am I right?
I mean, we gotta take our wins when we can.
Our family is the problem. We're doomed to save or destroy the world over and over again ad infinitum. Bingo. Bingo.
Is it the existence of the family? That's what I'm thinking. Like, this is Reginald. Releasing the Marigolds would started this in the first place. But I mean, I don't want them not to exist either. That's sad.
So, we need to go back to the original timeline, before any of the other ones were created. Am I the only one who's very, very, very confused?
That's why you shouldn't do lots of drugs.
I think he was trying to show me the original timeline.
We need to let the marigold in our bodies merge with the Durango inside the cleanse.
Are you okay? And then what happens to us?
I mean, technically you weren't supposed
We
to
cease to exist.
Damn! I was hoping I was wrong about that.
It's not killing ourselves, it's worse than that. We'll be erased from history.
Yeah, like cease to exist. What about Claire, though?
No one will have any memory of this. Or us.
Okay, if the kids are okay.
Wait, no, I don't like where this is going, 5.
Well, the world's ending one way or another.
Diego, if Lila isn't here when the cleanse comes, it just restarts.
Yeah, well, good thing it's her decision, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's everyone's decision. We either all go or we just keep running to one world ender to the next.
No, I'd rather die here with you than not remember you. No. I need you to live and experience.
She already doesn't know what it's like
all of the
to have her
amazing
erased from
things that this world has
existence,
to
so
offer you, okay?
if there's any chance they can live,
I will always be a part of you.
literally 50% of your DNA. That's what I'm wondering, like, isn't there marigold in her and their kids then?
Don't try to stop me.
Lila, please.
I can't just leave them here. What if they don't make it?
Then they don't make it.
Truthfully, there's no guarantee that if all the
If you go with
timelines
him,
go
then
away.
this whole thing starts over.
Yeah, exactly.
Make sure you read to Gracie every night, okay? Mommy! And don't let the twins fight!
Good on you, Lila, because you knew. Bittersweet, resigned music playing. These descriptions.
I hate you. I hate you for this.
It's not really his fault, though. It's Reginald who took the easy way out.
It looks angry.
Gives you that impression.
Right? The screaming, the red.
Do you think they're gonna be okay?
Let's just hold on to that.
Yeah.
Right? Let's hold on to that.
We're gonna do this thing.
One last ride.
Go around the circle and, you know,
Say what we're thankful for.
share our favorite moments together.
Aw. What a last episode thing to do.
Okay, so what do we do?
Sing? Dance? That's kind of your thing. They said we're never using this set again.
I'm sorry you left Canada for this.
Damn.
With my family.
Glad y'all made up. Last minute, but happened.
I finally see you.
I didn't mean to hurt you.
He knows.
I know.
Lila is many things, but manipulative is not one of them. She's more petty, if anything. Why couldn't the cleanse peaceful. Like, why couldn't Ben have turned into like a nice little dove that just flies over the earth sprinkling fairy dust?
Let it go. It stings.
Yeah.
Oh, just hold hands. You've shared bodily fluids at this point. And it's end of the world stuff.
Thank you for letting me be in your weird family.
Let's not have sex with any more of the brothers, okay?
No more legs than eggs, eh?
Damn it.
Maybe we'll see each other again.
Sure. Close your mouth. Don't let it go in your mouth. There you go.
I love you guys, but you are all assholes.
It's like a weird lava massage. Look at the 6 heartbeats. Sorry, 7. Oh, look at baby 5. Oh, look at that. Ben was showing the future. That's the family. But I'm just glad the kids didn't cease to exist. Oh, the agents. They're back. Oh, Mom. Okay, it's Lila's mom.
The 8th day of August, 2024.
Ooh,
absolutely nothing out of the ordinary occurred. It was just a normal day.
That's it? They just ceased to exist. In every way. Aww. Oh, well. Doesn't surprise me. Aw, season 4 or 3. Wait, let's see. I doubt there's a post-credit scene. All right. I just wanted to watch it. It's the very last episode. Very nice to see. Like, I think a lot of times we take for granted how many people it takes to make a show like this work. A lot of people, a lot of unsung heroes. We see the stars, we see, you know, maybe the directors from time to time, but it's such a huge undertaking to make a show, to make it, to put it through all it needs to go through, the production, all of it. It's so much work, and thank you to absolutely everyone involved in this project from beginning to end. This has been a fun ride. I've enjoyed the Umbrella Academy thoroughly. I am definitely sad it's over. Like, I just feel like this show had the potential to go quite a bit longer, but I understand why they decided this was like the logical conclusion. You know, I just think, unfortunately, it was one of those shows that got caught as a victim between the vid and the writer's strike. It just, a lot of things shuffled around, and I guess it just wasn't, I think for the actors especially, right? Because the big problem with a show like this is that if you have these crazy schedules, it makes it difficult for the other actors to, like, especially with an ensemble cast this big, you know, to commit to something and not know when you're going to be filming, when it's going to be, you know, going. It's a lot, and it's really hard to, like, form your life around it, if that makes sense. Because if you know how acting works, it's all contract work, right? And if you want to take on a project, you need to make sure it's not going to conflict with another project that you're going to be potentially working on. If you've already signed to a certain project, it has to take priority over whatever else you might want to take or whatever you take. It can be very messy to make all those things logistically work sometimes. And so, again, I feel like because of the time period this show kind of fell into there in the middle, I think it just became one of those victims of, you know, can we keep this going, and does it make sense, and do we know when we'd even be able to, you know what I mean, put it together again if we wanted to go longer, things like that. And I think it was one of those things where all the cast members would have to be on board to continue it. And I don't know that all of them are really wanting to sign on for like another 2 or 3 seasons, you know what I'm saying? Especially since like it's been so chaotic. But anyway, it also just may be that they just felt like it was the right time to end it. I've never read the source material, so I don't know how far it goes. But either way, I think that it was a good enough conclusion. I think we did good. I definitely could have done with more. I would have loved this had been a 10 episode season, but it's okay. I feel like we hit the more important points on the head here. The main things that needed to be wrapped up were wrapped up. You know, they kind of, everyone who had a serious rift has managed to kind of patch that up. Everyone's kind of had that life experience that they didn't have, as I mentioned before. old Ben never had a chance to have a relationship or fall in love or, you know, some of the other things that people in love do. And this season, it wasn't that Ben, but all the same. Ben's character finally got to fall in love and do those things, even if it was doomed. And then 5, same thing, you know, because he was reset to being a teenager again. We know in his old life, the one where he got to be into his 60s, he never got, you know, he never fell in love, never fell in love, sorry, never was with anybody because he was too traumatized. And also the commission kept him moving around so much that kind of stuff was pretty impossible. And then being transported back in time to his teen self, obvious reasons, you know, he had to restart everything. So yeah, he got a chance to finally fall in love and have a relationship. I mean, I saw there was a lot of mixed reviews on whether or not it was a good idea to make 5 and Lila happen. And I talked about it at length last episode, but I still feel like I don't like it. I would have definitely preferred it be somebody else, but I also understand why it kind of had to be her. And I'm not mad at it per se, just in that, like I said, I still think Lila was the best person for that 7-year thing to happen to, right? As far as it happening to them, and also for Spot 5 to spend that time with, because 5, that was already going to trigger a lot for him because he's already done this rodeo. But as I said, Lila's the right counterbalance to the, what would you even call it? The pessimism that is typically 5. And so anyway, as I said, do I wish it was her? No, I really would have loved if they could have somehow brought in somebody else or even had him meet somebody else in the timeline. That would have been beautiful too. In fact, I think that would have been even better if you think about it. Like they could have had him meet somebody, like when he got out of the tunnel once, meet someone, fall in love with that person, decide to stay with them. He spends 7 years with them, and then he stumbles upon the book, and then he's got the really hard decision to make of, do I go back and save my family, or do I stay with this new family I've built here? Right? That would have been a great ultimate sacrifice scenario for 5. I mean, it's somewhat similar to what he had in season 1, but not really, because 5 didn't really have anybody back in season 1, right? He had his mannequin who he developed a, you know, not so healthy relationship. But if he'd actually had a real relationship with somebody in another timeline and he didn't have the reason, I guess you could say, like he had no solid reason to leave that, but still made the choice to save his family, I think that would have been a great storyline too. But anyways, I guess they needed to give Lila something that wasn't just her having a crazy mom. So anyway, as I said, it wasn't my favorite pairing ever, but like I said, I think it made sense. And in this episode, seeing that they finally returned, and I really like how they played, even though it was very, very short time in the show, I did like how they showed that Lila understandably had a lot of trepidation coming back, because even though, like, you know, this is a rodeo that 5's already done, so 5 wasn't as shaken by it, but this is her first foray into time travel with long periods. And so she's like, I don't know what to do. Like, what if they don't recognize me? What if things have changed? And he's like, it's been like a few hours for them. Like, they don't even know. But she knows, right? Like, she will never be the same. She is 7 years older, even though for her family, that's not what happened. So, you know, just kind of cool the way that they kind of showed that, and how Lila had all those fears, and then the awkwardness that immediately happened when Diego came back. And I mean, I'm glad that they at least got it out in the open, because remember I was saying that it would be, if they could keep it a secret for the rest of their lives, I would have been fine with that. But I also felt like there's no way 5's going to be normal. If I know 5, he's not going to be able to let go of this, because this is his first love, and now his only love. So there's no way he's not going to be weird around her or around them going forward. So I am kind of glad that they just let it out and got it out of the way and were honest about it. I mean, in front of the whole family's a bit much, but why not? Right? Might as well, so that was not one of those deep, dark family secrets that would come up later anyway. So yeah, it all came out. They talked about it. But as I said in the episode, if there's one of them that would get over it, actually I should say 2. The 2 people that would get over that are Diego. He would have been mad and he would have always side-eyed 5 for it, but he would have forgiven him for it. And Luther, because Luther just can't stay mad at anyone. So, so yeah, that was kind of all wrapped up. And even though 5 was clearly not happy with the outcome, like, yeah, he definitely would have preferred if Lila had chosen him. But I think deep down he knew that was never going to happen, not when there was kids involved. And also Lila didn't really get with, she didn't get with 5 because she didn't love Diego. She got with 5 out of loneliness, quite frankly. Like, the 2 of them had spent an insane amount of time together and they trauma bonded, and that's really what that came from. So when it came down to it and they were in that fight and she said it was over, like, she meant it. Like, she's like, the bubble's broken. Like, I'm back to the life that I want. Like, it made me realize how much I do want my family and my husband. So anyway, I'm glad though that they did kind of work it all out. Like, it was never going to be perfect, even if they had lived, but it got to the point where I think they would have at least been cordial, which I think was the bare minimum we could get to in that situation. But yeah, that was all wrapped up. Then we saw with, what else was there? Yeah, we saw that, was that all that happened at the house? That was pretty much all that happened at the house as far as the siblings. Yeah, Klaus coming back, not much to say about that. I have to say overall, I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel like Klaus's character definitely got back grounded this whole season. Back burnered, I guess I should say, sorry. And that saddens me because I really love Klaus's character and I feel like his powers, again, were one of the coolest ones. Now this season, in fairness, probably the least useful outside of being immortal, but still, I just feel like we barely got Klaus. Like, yeah, it was funny to see him as the hypochondriac, etc. But yeah, like there was one whole episode where he essentially wasn't there, like the whole being buried one. He really was very minimal in that episode. So I'm not sure why that was. I guess this was really the season to focus on Ben and to focus on Five. And I'm not that mad at it because those are two characters. I mean, Five's always been focal, but this is the first time we kind of got emotional with Five, right? So I'm not mad at that because those two characters definitely have not gotten a lot of love as far as their characters, but I would have still liked to see everybody get a little bit more. And I feel bad that Klaus didn't have much, but in the end, you know, he was back to being himself, right? He was back to being slightly reckless, but you know, still Klaus. That was the house. Yeah, that was pretty much the things at the house. Now back over with the Ben and Jennifer thing, we saw that it was already happening. Ben's body was mutating, as was hers. I keep saying that she definitely was taking it the worst. It was definitely like Jennifer who got the worst of it, but Ben was obviously still shifting as well. And we see that that Victor tried to talk to him, really tried to talk to him and explain what was happening. But Ben at that point was kind of like logical Ben, what was left of Ben, heard what Victor was saying and wanted to like do something about it. But by then the bond had already taken over. So he was like, I can't control this anymore. Like, you need to just go. Like, it's at this point, and I think at that point, Victor should have known it was too late. Like, the only way maybe Victor could have stopped it at that point is if he had just, like, I think Victor's power would have been enough to take out Ben then. That was like the last chance to do that. But we all know that there's no way Victor was going to do that because they've all lost Ben before, right? Nobody in the Umbrella Academy would have had it in them to take Ben out, even though it meant saving the world, because they've already lost him and they know what that felt like, especially now that they remembered how he died. So that was kind of sad in a way. But as I said, for Ben, you understand his journey here. Like, yes, some of it was the bond. Well, most of it was the bond as far as the not wanting to leave Jennifer. But I think also Ben just for the first time was in love and the first time had someone for him and for the first time felt happy. So there was a lot of different reasons why that was not going to end the way it was supposed to. Jennifer's character, I'm not going to lie, definitely a plot device this season. Like, we didn't get to know anything about her. The show basically said, yeah, her life started at the squid. Deal with it. She woke up in a squid, ended up in a weird town where everyone pretended to be her friend. That's it. That's all we get to know about Jennifer. We don't know her likes, her desires, her dreams, none of that. Born in a squid, fake town, meets Ben, bond, sex, death. That's it. That's her whole arc. And I mean, bless her. She seems like a lovely actress. You did a great job, sis. It just, yeah, unfortunately, your character really did not give us much, and kind of sad that Ben's first love interest was so, like, we just got nothing. And again, 6-episode season. I don't blame them. They didn't have a lot of time for all that, but kind of sad. I do think it would have been nice if Ben had a little bit more of a real love story compared to how all the other ones have kind of had like these different reasons they fell in love or had these people in their lives. Like Klaus had a really good love story. Allison had an amazing love story. Last season, even Luther had a good, amazing love story. Like pretty much everyone who's had a love story has had someone who had a decent like background and build up, and we got to see it build up. Even 5, if you think about it, last episode, like Ben's the only person who was like, here's this girl with no past, no future, make out with her. But anyways, I'm not gonna get too mad about it. Again, Ben's always been very much a tertiary character in this show. Always been my complaint, but I guess for how much he was in it, it was what we get. So anyway, that was Jennifer. I wish I could say I feel bad about her going, but I honestly didn't have enough time to bond with her. So bye, I guess. But yeah, we see that that's what went down. Not much that happened with Victor and Ben in that regard. They just had the conversation. And of course, we see that Victor got that vision, which they explain later on. Umbrella Academy ended up showing up there. They did their best, you know, kind of one last hurrah. But honestly, out of the fight scenes we've had with them, that's probably been the least, like the most minimal one we've ever had, truthfully. I feel like we've definitely, season 1 and season 2 gave us the best battle scenes with them. I'm not sure why they pulled back this season, if it's just budget or timing, but it definitely, like I said, we've seen better. Or maybe they put all the effects into the Blob. The Cleanse got all the budget this season, I guess. So, as you think about it, even the blink effects were minor for 5. So anyway, that was pretty much it. They had their fight scene. It didn't work out. And then because during that fight scene, we saw that that Diego and 5 were fighting, obviously over Lila, which I hate that. I hate the fact they're fighting over the same girl when one of them's like a married woman. But anyway, finally Lila breaks it up and she like tells 5, like, it's over. Like, you're fighting for something that I'm not a party in anymore. Like, we're done. And he leaves, understandably, because it's a lot for him. And she immediately realizes when he blinks out that crap, like, maybe I shouldn't have said it quite like that. But 5 kind of need to hear it bluntly, because you saw he kept trying to, like, he was egging that fight on, first of all, and he was definitely trying to do what he could to like get Lila to like break up with Diego, but that wasn't gonna happen, right? It was never a breakup situation. It was very much a, we don't know if we're ever gonna make it home situation. So anyway, 5 leaves in his feelings, understandably, and that's when he meets the army of 5s. And he discovers that this whole timeline thing has been happening over at least 100,000 timelines. Every single time there's an apocalyptic event, and they are the key. It's those kids. It's the Marigold users. They're the problem. And that's interesting that they said that, because I could have sworn there's more, right? Didn't season 1 say there was over so how many babies across the world? So why is it just them? Now that I think about it. Because remember, Reginald wasn't able to acquire them all in their first world, right? He wasn't able to get all the Marigold users. He could only get the ones that he ended up with at the Academy. Anyway, we're just gonna take that as plot. But yes, 5 finds out that this is the reason why it's all happening. They're the core reason, in that no matter what happens, no matter how many times they escape death or move to another timeline, the end of the world scenario is going to follow no matter what. So the only way to stop it is that the Marigold owners have to be gone, which that part also feels a little bit broken, because we already know Marigold can be extracted. Marigold can be extracted. So why couldn't we extract the Marigold from them again? Because the first half of this season, they were, not first half, first episode of this season, they were powerless. Marigold gone. So why couldn't we just find all the Marigold and like I said, just jettison that stuff into space? Why couldn't we do that? Why did we have to lose the people that had the Marigold in them? Like, that feels a little weird when we were shown that the Marigold is not a necessary part. It's not like they can't live without it. Let's put it that way. It's not like it's part of their DNA anymore. So that part was weird. Definitely a plot device again. But anyway, so that's when we find out that that's the problem. They gotta go. And 5 realizes that that's the only way to stop this and to stop, end the timelines, end the end of the world, to save the people they love potentially, is that they gotta go. And so he does go back. He could choose not to, right? He said all the other 5s that were there chose not to. They basically escaped their worlds. But we see that this 5 said, no, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to see if we can stop this thing, because I can, basically. And I think he's also sick of it. He's sick and tired of the running. And who wants to sit in a cafe full of themselves? Like, thousands of versions of themselves for life. Like, that's crazy. I would never do that. I love me a lot, but an army of me? Too much. So that's what happened with 5. And yeah, then we find out that, as we saw a little bit of last episode, that it was, God, why do I always forget Reggie's wife's name? Anyways, she's the reason. She said the reason that she set this all off is because she's finishing what Reggie started, basically. So we find out that she actually died on their world. That's what actually happened. So Reggie brought her back. At least this timeline, he brought her back. We know that in the OG timeline, he just created an android with her face. But she died, and her opinion, she felt her death was comeuppance for creating Marigold and Durango. She's like, it ate up our world. It took me out with it. That was the right end for me creating something so destructive, which again, she didn't do on purpose to our knowledge. I accused her of that last episode. I was wrong. And Reggie escaped, but she's saying, like, you made the mistake, Reggie. She's like, you brought this on this world. Like, you're the one who brought Marigold here, which I guess by de facto means he brought Durango as well. And you let it go. And we finally got the scene of Reggie opening up the jar of Marigold and just throwing it into the wind, quite literally, when he first came, right? We always had questions around how how these kids came to be. Why did this phenomenon happen? And also, why was Reggie so damn quick to be able to be there and ready to buy these babies? It's because he kicked it off. And I always suspected that he did. I just wasn't sure how. And we finally got that last piece that he had the jar and he said, screw it. And he threw it out there and it got into the air. And then those who got affected. And he said that he did it because he missed his wife and he missed his planet and he just kind of wanted to recreate a bit of it here on Earth. But he just had no idea that the Durango side effect was always going to be a problem as well. Or maybe he did and he just didn't care. We're not sure yet. But I guess, no, actually, I'll take that back. In this version of Reggie, he did it, didn't care because he figured he would just keep the Durango locked up for life, aka Jennifer living in her little isolated town where she'd never leave until the day she died. And then he'd probably have to continue doing that because I'm thinking the Durango wouldn't just die with her. But I don't know. I'm getting deep into fake science. But anyhow, so we get all the details wrapped up of why she did it. And Reggie basically was upset at first, but then he's like, you know what? Fine. He's like, you did the right thing. Like, we need to end this. This Marigold Durango thing needs to end with us and end here. So we're going to go. Like, we're going to sit here, take our fate. And she's like, if they know what's right for them, they're going to let it end with the Marigold as well. Like, we're just going to end this. The cleanse is going to happen. The cleanse being the cleanse of the Marigold, right? Cleanse has been, first it was back to the original timeline, which was actually true. Jean and Jean were right about that. The cleanse was going to restore the original timeline, but it also meant getting rid of all the elements of Marigold and Durango in the world as well. So that's the part that they weren't quite sure of. So yeah, that's basically what it turned out to be, the final plot. And once, you know, Five told them all that, understandably, none of them liked the idea of that, especially the people with kids. That was my big concern, is that will the kids cease to exist since their parents will cease to exist? And we heard Five honestly say, I have no idea. I'm glad the show didn't go that way because that would have been particularly cruel, especially because we know how hard, for example, that Allison worked to get Claire back into existence. So I'm glad that the kids got to survive and that the families that weren't touched by Marigold survived. Also, like I said, I always had a question of whether or not Claire would have had Marigold in her too, because technically her mom, you know, had it, but it looks like the Marigold did not pass. It wasn't that type of thing. So yeah, the kids seem to be all right is the point. But anyhow, yeah, we saw that they had their final moments and they were back together again in the same house that started it all. Yes, it wasn't the way it used to be, but they were together, got to say their goodbyes, got to say their ILUs. Everyone who had rifts basically made up, including Victor and Allison, which was kind of a long-standing rift. And, you know, even cracked a little joke before it was all said and done. And then they just let the sweet by and by envelop them. And so it was a little bit sad, definitely. I feel like I could feel the emotion, if that makes sense. I could definitely feel the emotion in that scene, because I'm pretty sure, I don't know when the order of events was filmed. They might have filmed this first, I don't know. But I could feel, you know, if that makes sense, I could feel that the actors probably felt like this is really the last time we're doing this, right? This is a true goodbye to this scene, to this set, to this cast, to this whole experience, which, you know, I've watched a few of these interviews with the cast and all of them said it was very emotional because, you know, they've worked together now for like 5 years and, you know, you make really good friendships and bonds over that time. And this is one of those casts that had really good off-screen chemistry too. So yeah, I definitely felt in that moment that they were all feeling that, wow, we're really saying goodbye to this. But yeah, I think that added to the scene and made it really cute. And like I said, what I expect at the ending of a show like this to be a little irreverent, a little bit funny, a little bit sad, but overall just this beautiful, wholesome moment with this dysfunctional family that somehow found a way to work with each other. So that was it. Like, they are in fact wiped from existence. Everything is set back to right. We see the commission people were no longer commission people because the commission never existed. They were just normal folks. The kids, you know, the family, they're all together. But unfortunately, no one knows about those people. The Umbrella Academy and Lila effectively have never existed. And we heard the voiceover said that nothing of import happened that day. But it was today, well, not today's day, but this year. So we all know that the last one was back when the kids were born. But now they're saying as of, you know, this time in this timeline, just a big old regular schmegular day, nothing new. So as far as an ending goes, I feel like it's good enough. I really never thought these guys were going to get a happily ever after. A part of me kind of hoped that they would, but the nature of this show and the fact that there was always an apocalyptic event kind of told me that I don't think we're going to get these guys getting their happily ever after as such. I have a feeling that just like they were never meant to be, really, you know, when you think about how they were created, that they were spontaneously created, no fathers, just came to be, they really were never meant to be. Even though they were, but they weren't. Like, they were meant to be in the sense of, obviously there's Claire, the kids, things like that. They did touch lives, but they weren't meant to be. So yeah, they kind of went the way they came, if that makes sense. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was a fitting ending. I do think it was a fitting ending. I definitely could have had more, as I said before. Loved this show, loved the cast, loved the writing. I think there was definitely potential to do more, but I've accepted that this is the end of the road for us. And I did enjoy it. I enjoyed literally, I don't think there's a single season that I feel like was not good. I generally always like the episodes. I've liked pretty much every character we've come across. And yeah, it was great. It was a great ride. I enjoyed it a lot. So like I said before, thanks to everyone who had anything to do with this show. I wish everybody in the show the best as they go on to their next projects. And yeah, I hope that we get another fun show like this again soon. I do love a good sci-fi superpower show. And this is going to definitely leave a void now. So I think that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this series along with me. If you've been along since the very beginning, I appreciate you. If you jumped in late, I appreciate you as well. I hope you enjoyed watching this show with me. And that's it for this, but I have a lot of other cool things that I react to or will be reacting to in the near future. So I do hope you'll stick around. Keep on this journey with me. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Keep watching with me. If you are part of the fam and you're going to be watching other things with me, thank you so much once again for watching with me. And I cannot wait to see you in the next video. So thanks so much. Bye.